5 family Leawiye okay Banle Oshobo. Up next is The World at Noon with Adeniyi Kende.
Good afternoon. The World at Noon. Nigeria, JAMB decides admission benchmark by next month. Police arrest former Prime Minister for corruption. Female student shot dead at a university in Jordan. The remains of British journalist returned to family members for burial. In Nigeria, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board is set to hold the 2022 policy meeting for the 2022-2023 admission on July 21st. The board's spokesperson, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, disclosed days in Abuja. According to him, the policy meeting will be chaired by the Minister of Education, Alhaji Adamu, with all heads of tertiary institutions in attendance. The meeting will chart policy direction for the nation's tertiary institutions, set admission guidelines, and make a holistic review of application statistics, performance, as well as evaluate admission exercise. When asked if the board will be meeting on Thursday, July the 21st of this year, and the topic for discussion, Dr. Fabian said the admissions and benchmarks will be discussed in the meeting. He disclosed that no fewer than 1 million candidates registered for the 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and Direct Entry Examination. The board said 69 results were withheld, while 1,783 candidates are to be scheduled to write as a result of biometric challenges. Still on event in Nigeria, Osun State House of Assembly has fixed 6-month tenure elongation of local government chairmen and councillors across the state, just as the House has asked commissioners nominees of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola to submit their credentials for necessary screening. While constituting the 7-man committee to screen the affected commissioners, nominees are headed by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Femi Popola. The Speaker of the State Parliament, Honorable Timothy Oweye, commended Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for lifting ban on promotion and conversion of the state workforce, the development which the Speaker said has written Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's name in gold. Parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladokun completes the story.
Barely a few weeks after the conduct of primaries election for the state's legislature, Osun State House of Assembly members today resume work. Welcoming the lawmakers to the Alo Chamber is the Speaker of the State Parliament, Honorable Timothy Oweye, who in the course of the plenary lauded the tenacity of his colleagues. Thereafter, the Speaker read the 2 letters sent to the House by Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. The first sought the need for the Secretary of Government to consider the 6-month tenure elongation of local government chairmen and councillors across the state.
Bring the processed tiers of government to table. Definitely a reasonable government should avoid vacuum at local government level, especially when the entire nation is facing security challenges. One way or the other, yes, we have not gotten any reports indicting those directing the affairs of local government.
Another letter communicated to the honorable members was the screening of commissioners and special advisor nominees. While speaking on the extension of the chairman and councillors, Chairman, House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Festus Babatunde Komolafe, Majority Leader of the House, Honorable Maruf Olarewaju, just asked Honorable Nasiru Olateju heard that so long there were no petition against the present local government areas heads, House of Assembly should go ahead for their confirmation for another 6 months. The House therefore confirmed them for another 6 months. In his remarks, the Speaker of the House, Honorable Timothy Oweye, applauded Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's administration for lifting ban on promotion and conversion of the state workforce, a feat which he said has written Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's name in gold. The Speaker, in the same spirit, constituted a 7-man screening committee for the affected commissioners and special advisor nominees to be headed by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Femi Popola. Oluwatosin Oladokun, OSBC News.
Police in Tunisia have arrested a former Prime Minister Ahmadi Jebali. Report has it that during his premiership from 2011 to 2013, Mr. Jebali belonged to the Hinda Islamic Party, the largest in parliament until President Kais Saied dissolved the assembly and seized executive power in Tunisia last year. Mr. Jebali's lawyer said the former politician had been under recent investigation at his boiler factory in the city of Sosa, but could not say why he had been detained. His family have denounced his arrest as repressive and say they hold President Said personally responsible for his well-being. A court in the Democratic Republic of Congo has acquitted President Felix Tshisekedi's former chief of staff, Mr. Vital Kamerhe, of charges of corruption. According to Mr. Kamerhe's lawyer, Uju Pulusi, he was sentenced in 2020 to 20 years of hard labor after facing charges of embezzling almost $50 million of public funds. The missing funds were intended to be used for housing project announced by the president following his inauguration. The acquittal by a court of appeal in the capital, Kinshasa, was communicated to Mr. Kamerhe's lawyers. It cited lack of evidence and cleared him of all charges. Mr. Kamerhe was the most high-profile figure to be convicted of corruption in the DR Congo. Information has it that an earlier appeal court had reduced his 20 years jail term to 13 years before yesterday's acquittal. This is the World at Noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ile-Awiye, Okebale, Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now amid news message. The gains of crime will not be able to sustain you when the long arm of law catches up with you. Desist from criminal tendencies now. The U.S. Senate has passed the gun control bill, the most significant firearms legislation in nearly 30 years. 15 Republicans joined Democrats in the upper chamber of Congress to approve the measure by 65 votes to 33. It follows mass shooting last month at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, and a primary school in Velde, Texas, that left a combined 31 people dead. The bill will now have to pass in the House of Representatives before the President Joe Biden can sign it into law. This could happen within days, although significant. The proposal falls far short of what many Democrats and activists have called for. The reform includes tougher background checks for buyers younger than 21 years and $15 billion in the federal funding for mental health program and school security upgrades. The bill is also significant because it is the first time in decades that proposed reform have received this level of support from both Democrats and Republicans. Historically, efforts to strengthen U.S. gun laws have been blocked by the Republican Party. Republican Senator John Coyne of Texas, who co-led the negotiation with the Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, said on the floor of the chamber that the bill will make Americans safer. A female student has been shot and killed on a university campus in Jordan. General Security Directorate in a statement said an assailant fired shot at a female at a university in Jordanian capital Amman. The victim was transported to a hospital in critical condition and was pronounced dead shortly after her arrival. An investigation has been launched to arrest and determine the identity of the attacker, who fled the scene and remains at large. According to the report, the victim was identified as 21-year-old Iman Rashid, nursing student at the Applied Sciences University. Information has it that the victim left an examination hall where she had completed a test. Hence, the assailant entered the premises through the main gate and later left without being stopped by the security operatives. In the meantime, the bodies of the UK journalist Don Phillips and indigenous expert Bruno Pereira have been handed over to their families members in Brazil. Report has it that the families of the slain journalists are now planning their funeral to be held between today and Sunday. They were killed in the Amazon earlier this month while returning from an expedition in the Jawari Valley. Information has it that the fourth suspect handed himself into the police in Sao Paulo. The ceremony for the Bruno Pereira will take place in the city of Recife today. Mr. Don Phillips' family will hold a ceremony, a cremation near Rio de Janeiro on Sunday, exactly 4 weeks since their pair were last seen alive. Mrs. Alessandra Sapporo, Mr. Phillips' widow, has released a photograph of her holding his wedding ring, which police reportedly found near his body. And here again are the highlights of the world at noon. In Nigeria, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board is set to hold the 2022 policy meeting for the 2022-2023 admission on July 21st. Police in Tunisia have arrested a former Prime Minister, Ahmadi Jebali. A female student has been shot dead and killed on a university campus in Jordan. UK journalist Don Phillips and indigenous expert Bruno Pereira have been handed over to their family members in Brazil for funeral ceremonies. That was the world at noon, edited by Olushola Egbolofo and delivered by Adeniyi Kehinde. Today's news talk on internet fraud and future of Nigerian youth is written by an intern with the News and Current Affairs Department of OSBC Radio, Abibulai Abdulwasiu. In it, he implores Nigerian youths to jettison the use of ICT negatively.
Of technology and its everyday advancements seem to make the world interesting and make tasks easier when being carried out unlike before. However, the negative use of technological advancement is a big mess and uncalled for by individuals who engages in its negative use. Among the habits of technology is cybercrime, also called Yahoo Yahoo. This act has been practiced in every part of the world, Nigeria inclusive. But the rate at which Nigerian citizens, especially the youths, venture into it is so alarming. They have taken it as a full-time job that pays them money and other treasures every time. They seem to have neglected what seems like the right and legal way and have gone in the wrong way in their pursuit of money. Instead of going a long way in acquiring quality education that would make them outshine their mates and be able to compete with people around the globe with their intellects, all they chase around and care about is how they will make money and secure the bag, as they usually say. In a study and research conducted to know how internet frauds are being done, it was discovered that there are several ways by which these persons scam people of their own money and belongings, most especially those living in foreign countries. They choose their area of specialization in this act. Among them are dating, hookup, gay, lesbian, sugar daddy and mommy, among others. Those criminal elements create an account with some dating applications and sites like Facebook, Instagram, Badoo, and disguised as a person who truly wants to go into a relationship that might lead to marriage with them, and on the short or long run scam those who unfortunately come to their ways and later back off after fulfilling their devilish mission. Countries like the United Kingdom, United States of America, Spain, France, Italy, Canada, Australia are their choices because of the high exchange rates of their currencies. But people from the Philippines, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran are not what they desire because they are of the mentality that they have nothing to offer. Gift cards like Amazon, iTunes, eBay, Steam Wallet, Sephora, and online payment platforms like MoneyGram, Western Union, Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App are the means through which their clients, who they consider as nincompoops, send money across to them. Out of curiosity to know why the majority of youths put up these fraudulent actions, it was established that some crazy responses and slangs like "Owo ni koko," money is the main thing, also "Kambobo," "I just want to secure the bag," and lots more are common among these get-rich-quick elements. Some are even of the mentality that education is a big scam in this country, where thousands and millions of graduates are roaming the streets unemployed and unable to cater to their needs because they have no job. However, in order to achieve their aims and make money quickly, these Yahoo boys use talisman so they can be loved by everybody. Investigations revealed further that they have their personal traditional data who they consult for charms in order for them to use it for whosoever comes their way online so as to get hold of his or her money and abscond with it. Some even go a long way to possess every charms that might eventually make their victims miserable and demented. These are some of the extents to which the so-called Yahoo boys can go, and most pathetic thing they do at the end of the day is money ritual. When things are not going well for them anymore, they won't want to be stranded, hence engaging the so-called Yahoo plus. Moreover, fraudsters are the easiest to identify when sighted because they dress chartered, since their hair into chorus, clubbing every now and then, and possess luxury cars, houses, phones, and laptops. It should be recalled that Abbas Ramoni, also known as Hush Puppy, arrested alongside his accomplices in in Dubai are currently facing charges of illegal possession of money and valuables worth 168 billion naira. This is one of the consequences for such an illegal act. Similarly, many of the internet fraudsters have been arrested by SARS operatives, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission for the money and property in their possession illegally acquired, which can lead them to jail also. The above are not only the consequences of internet fraud. The master of it all is dragging of a nation's name and reputation in the mud. Some countries lay down strict conditions for citizenship. Residence and tourism passports cannot be processed for citizens of countries whose cybercrime rate is high. Also, some companies abroad withdraw applications from Nigerian citizens willing to work with them because they are afraid of being defrauded by them just like others. News Talk posits that cybercrime or anything related to it is not the best approach to make money. Hence, implores the youth to shun illegal actions and focus more on things Nigerians can be proud of publicly. After all, technological innovation can be used positively for personal and collective advancement of humanity at large.
That News Talk by Ann Hinton with the News and Current Affairs Department of OSBC Radio. Abibulai Abdulwasiu implored Nigerian youths to do away with the use of ICT negatively. The piece was read by Temitope Abdulkarim. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
On Osun Radio.